Waiting for Facebook. We're live, not Memorex. All right, Rob, Dave, Art, we're all here. And,
hey, Art and Dave, good to see you again.
You too,
Mr. Rob. It's wonderful to see you again.
So two weeks or almost 3 weeks till the show. So it's
18 days and 18 hours.
Yeah, it's getting to crunch time.
It is, and we're glad you took some time.
I can imagine all the pressure that you're under, Rob. Getting everything set up and ready to go. And I mean, even though you've done it now for 10, 11 years.
Yeah, it should be 11, but we had to skip 2021 because of the pandemic. So
yeah,
this will be the 10th show in Vegas anyway. So we've had 2 shows in London, which went over really well, and I'm looking forward to Amsterdam in September. So
I saw the post about that. I'm really excited for that. I may
that's going to be
try and make it there.
Amsterdam's going to be. I mean, London was fantastic for 2 years. We had just under 1,000 people the first year, and we had somewhere between 11 and 1,200 people the second year. But the good news, in London it was a really nice hotel, nice room. It worked out fantastic, but we couldn't grow anymore. Like in Vegas, we have between PBX and MEX, we have 411 booth spaces, plus the demo rooms and all of that. Over in London, we only had 56. So it was a great show, but it was a lot smaller than PBX in Vegas. But in Amsterdam, we actually have a great capability to even down the road make it bigger than Vegas, because in Vegas we pretty much are maxed out to the walls. I mean, a month and a half ago we were like 100% full in every single space. We've had a couple of exhibitors since then drop out, a couple have come in and all of that, but the nice thing, we're planning on about in the first phase we can do about 250 booth spaces in Amsterdam, but if the show kept on growing, and I hope it does, we actually have expansion capability to take it up to 1,100 and something booth spaces. So that would be even bigger than Vegas if we. That'd actually be 3 times the size of Vegas if we use the entire hall, but we only are using right now. We've only booked a quarter of it, so it's 3/4. I believe there's another. I don't have the details. There's another convention going on in another part of the facility, and we're not going to go beyond. Like right now, I think we have it set up for 160 booth spaces. If those fill up, then we can go to like 250. But we're not, like I said, that's a huge jump from the 56 that we had in London. So we're not planning this year beyond the 250.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll grow. I mean, if you look at, I've been watching the emails come in, just in the hotel rooms, right? So in the body of your email, you're like, yeah, we're at 4,000 rooms, right? Like sold, something like that.
We've last 3 years has been very consistent. It was approximately 4,000 rooms in 2023, approximately 4,000 rooms in 2024, and it's going to be about 4,000 rooms again in 2025. So it's almost, like I said, it's very, very close. It was a huge. That was a huge jump from 2022 was the only year in the history of the show that we had less people coming than the year before. We had about 4,000 people, 4,100 people in 2020, and we had 3,700 people in 2022.
So is that rooms or people?
Sorry?
Is that rooms or
No. Sorry, that was people.
Wow.
That's rooms are room nights. The hotel only has
gotcha.
Like the whole hotel has like 2,200 something rooms. So it's like no, we we did not book 4,000 of the 2,200 rooms. It's 4,000 room nights. So
Right. Okay.
if somebody stays for 5 nights, that counts as 5. So
Yeah. And we know some people don't even stay on site. They're getting, you know, the VRBOs and, you know, other hotel rooms down the street just because it's what they do. But so I imagine this is
yeah,
going to be the
right.
biggest show yet.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people that stay there. The closest other hotel is the Grandview, which is right next to South Point, and then yeah, we got the M down the street about a mile. You got Silverton, and there are people that stay on the Strip and then either rent a car and come in or Uber it. You know, it's not. We're
Yeah,
basically
it's not that expensive to Uber to and from the Strip. So
yeah, it's
that's
better. I mean, it's better if you can stay at the hotel, but you know, but not like I said, if you know, if everybody stayed at the hotel, we'd probably do, you know, 8,000 or 9,000 rooms or something like. And people get their own Airbnbs, and I hear all kinds of different stories. So
Yeah, the South Point's a very interesting spot. One of my friends who's going to be with me at the show lives in Las Vegas, and unfortunately, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, his apartment caught on fire. And when the was it the Red Cross shows up, and they give him vouchers for a hotel, and wouldn't you know it, it was South Point. That's where they put everybody. For the Red Cross put everybody into South Point for the people that had problems with their apartments in the fire. So I thought that was
so it's
kind of
good.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
so South Point's a good place, and with all the restaurants it's got, it's like you never have to leave the hotel. It's insane.
Oh, the funny part is, I mean, I've been going to South Point for years. The first time I went was actually the Mobile Beach show was just there 1 year. It was 2007, I think, if I'm not wrong.
I
And
think you're right.
so it was at the Stardust for a couple of years, and then at that point, Boyd also owned South Point, which started being called South Coast in the beginning. Long story, but
Hmm.
they moved the show for 1 year. I loved it. At that point, the hotel was brand new. I loved the Mobile Beach show there at South Point. Then they moved it to the Riviera, where they had it for a number of years before they moved it to the Tropicana, which ultimately ended up getting imploded there. But
I saw that. Oh my god.
as did the Riviera. But I that's how the show started actually at South Point, because I really liked the show at South Point, and I go, okay, you moved it over. I mean, the Riviera was fine too,
Hmm.
but it's like, oh, you moved it over to the Riviera, and South Point was actually the first place when I was looking for a place for Photo Booth Expo back in 2014. That was the first place I called, and they were the most receptive. It's like, okay, here's, you know, here's what this is going to cost, and blah. They were very helpful. Other places were basically, other places wouldn't talk to me unless I could guarantee them $250,000 in hotel room sales or something like that. And it's like
Hmm.
other places were standoffish, but South Point was very welcoming, and we had the show for a couple of years. Then people said, move it to the Strip, move it to the Strip. We ended up moving it to Westgate, which was okay as well.
Hmm.
But I had so many people tell me that they liked South Point so much better than Westgate that after the first year, I went right back to South Point and I said, let's talk for 2019, and it's been there. It's been there ever since. So, and we're there at least till 2027, because I've got a contract with them for this year, 26 and 27. So
Great. So there is a big question that I'm sure a lot of viewers want to know is, are we doing the poker tournament this year?
yes, we are. That's
I'm in.
that's a lot. I've heard people tell me that that's their favorite part of the show almost, or at least we've had 100 people participate in that for the last. It was approximately 100 2 years ago, 100 last year, and Andy Starr does a fantastic job running the tournament for the show, and I don't even like. we put in the ad, we do some advertising for him and all that. He actually has the website pbxpoker.com. So if you want to play poker, please register there, because you're not technically committing to anything, because you only pay when you arrive. Like we have nothing to do with the payment. The payment is all done through South Point, and you pay when you arrive there. But we need to know how many people are going to be showing up, or we try to estimate. And
it's always been a lot of fun.
Yeah, the last couple of years they've given us our own room, and this year too. So it's before that we used to have like a corner of the and they have a huge the poker room at South Point is one of the largest and most respected in Vegas. I think for locals, there you go, pbxpoker.com. For locals, it's one of their favorites, and because a lot of tourists don't make it down there that much, but it is just I haven't played there that much, but I've played a couple of times even when the show hasn't been there, and it's a great poker room. And
yeah, I'm looking forward to it, because the first year I played, I did pretty well. I think it was I got down like the top 30 or whatever. Last year I was out early. I got nothing, and I got a little chip on my shoulder.
Well,
pun intended.
The only year of all the years that Andy Starr's run, he's running all the years, but of all the years he's run it, the only time I placed, I had a streak of luck 3 years ago, and I came in fifth place, which was fifth place was something like $580 or something like
Not
that.
too shabby.
Like first place is like 3,008. It's if you can win it, they'll pay for your trip right there. But
it's fun. That's like the one part of the whole show where I think everybody just kind of gets away from the whole show, and now we're sitting at a table with some people that we've never seen before and some people that we know really well, and it's just good conversations that happen. And I know I've mentioned this before, but it really is a good getaway and just a whole different atmosphere, and people are just laughing and chuckling and just having a good time. That's why I love it so much.
I remember the first year I was asking about the poker tournament, and they actually tried to talk me into just suggesting that people go to their own poker tournament, like the South Point's poker tournament that was going to go on the one night, and it would make it so much easier. And their take on it, like the rake is actually a little bit less than ours, because they don't have to set up the room. They don't have to set up a lot of the stuff that they do for ours. So that's actually a better deal. Other than the fact that we have a lot of exhibitors that donate a lot of prizes, so in essence, ours is the best deal. But I had so much. I put that onto probably Photo Booth Network or something, because this is brand new, and I said, who wants to have our own exclusive photo booth expo tournament, as opposed to just participating in the general one that everybody is in. And it was like 20-1 people said, no, we need our own tournament, not just be a part of theirs. So it's so we did that the first year, and like I said, I think the first year it's slowly grown from about, I think the first year we had about 50 people, and it's grown to about 100. But I think people really like the fact that we have our own room in addition to everything else. So
yeah, it is nice, definitely. And
it seems like it's just a lot. I was just about to say, it's just everything keeps growing, including the poker tournament. It's just really cool.
Well, definitely. Plus we're doing nothing like super major, but it is the 10th anniversary of the show, so there is a lot of 10th anniversary stuff and all of that.
Ooh.
So it's going to be here before. I don't know about everybody else, but like this year has just flown by. And especially because we had the other show in London, so it's like I get back from that, and it's like, oh, our show's going to be in like 4 months now, so it's I remember I go to other shows, I go to about 20 other trade shows a year. And it just, like I said, it seems like 10 years ago was yesterday. I don't know about, like, not even the last year, but the last, it doesn't seem like we've been doing it for 10 years. It seems like it's been a lot less time than that.
I had some pictures pop up in my like time feeds and things from the first one. You know, when we just had that, you had that one area just kind of blocked out with curtains, and everything else was kind of going on behind the scenes, and people poking their heads around to see, you know, who's setting up where and what was going on and everything. And
I remember at the first one, I remember looking entire hall till year well, 2019 is the first time we used the entire hall just for exhibits, because the first year we used hall C and D, which is half of it, and part of that was blocked off for the seminars.
right.
And then the second year we added hall B for the exhibits, but hall A was actually, which is where Mobile Entertainment Expo now, that was actually where the seminars were held. So we technically used the entire hall, but and then we had some expansion at expansion at Westgate, and it's like I said, it's like I love doing the show, and I look forward to it every year. I have a lot of fun, and I love South Point, and I'm actually in Vegas already, so it's
you plan it there for like a month before.
yeah, I'm the first person to arrive probably that doesn't actually live here or whatever. I just it all started in 2022, because before that, because I like going to some of the other shows, like there's CES, School Photographers Association of California. I remember 2019, I flew back and forth like 4 times between January the 1st and the show, and I always make sure that I'm even going back to year 2, make sure that I'm there a week before, just to I can't, there is always a chance there's going to be a snowstorm in Niagara Falls, or Buffalo or Toronto, where I'm flying from,
Right.
and can't I can't take that chance. So it's like I've always arrived a week before, but 2022 was dicey because we were just getting out of all the travel restrictions and things like that, and it's like I'm constantly keeping my fingers crossed that COVID's not going to come back strong and everything's going to be shut down again. And it was a scary time, but it's like I can't even wait till the week before. So starting in 2022, I showed up a month before, and I've done that. I've done that ever since. I actually saved money, because before I used to fly back and forth, and now I actually drive down. So it's the beginning of January. I basically got in my car and literally drove for 5 days across the U.S. Kind of like doing the half of it's doing the Route 66 thing, although it's now Highway 40. But
You're always
second
doing that. You're always traveling.
every second exit has like a Route 66 museum for a good chunk of it there. So I visited a few of them anyway.
Like every 2 miles.
And take lots of pictures. We always enjoy your pictures that you post.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I used to do a lot more of that before. I still do some of it, but I remember the first year I drove to Vegas, and it was once again I started driving like 15 days before the show, and I was posting pictures of all the different, okay, here I am, here's like the world's somewhere in Illinois or something, world's largest rocking chair, which is like 40 feet high, or all these stupid side of the road things, and I would post them. And then I spent the last couple of nights in this town I stay a lot in, called Laughlin, which is an hour and a half south of Vegas, and I didn't post anything for like a day and a half, and all of a sudden I get, "Are you all right? Did you make it to Vegas? You've been following your post and you haven't posted anything in like 2 days or something like that."
See, you're a social media icon. You didn't even realize it, Rob.
Well, like I said, I still do. One of the things I love doing, like I said, that's how we got involved with the UK and with Europe and all of that. I love going to some of the other shows. I actually I've gone a few of the years to BoothCon in Australia. Although this year I ended up going and not, they ended up changing the date on me, which wasn't good. And I already had booked everything, so I ended up going to Australia for a nice little trip. But
That's
I
good.
was supposed to be going to BoothCon, but I think, I think at least we're gonna have a banner at the show this year there. So, but I love to travel, and I love one of the main. I love Las Vegas. That's one of the reasons that one of the reasons I have this show here. That and back in the um back in the day before I ever started producing the shows, I was an exhibitor for something like 20 years, and I would do I would do Vegas, I would do Atlantic City, and I mean all these. There's usually 7 or 8 DJ shows all around the country every year, and I
Yeah.
would do a good deal of them. But the reason Vegas was a no-brainer, that as an exhibitor for 20 years, um, the Mobile Beach show Vegas was always like a strong #1 for me in terms of sales. It's like I never lost money doing that show, and had a blast in Vegas and everything. And then Atlantic City was second, but it was still a very good solid show. And I lost, as an exhibitor, I lost money at a lot of the other shows. So it's like when 2014 or 2013, 2014 came, and I was looking for a place, it was just a no-brainer. It has to be in Vegas. So
Remind us
and
again. What were you selling? What were you exhibiting?
I used to sell collapsible limbo sticks.
That's
I
it.
wrote a book. I wrote a book called the DJ Companion Book. I was a dealer for years for some of the. I mean, now everything is, MP3 and online and everything. But back in the day, uh, yeah, I used to be a dealer for an ERG Entertainment Resources Group. I actually sold. I produced a few background music CDs that I used to sell. I used to
Oh,
sell
cool.
Bobby Morgenstein CDs. There's a couple of shows. I did Atlanta a couple of years, and um, uh, the one year, I think the first year Bobby was there. The second year, uh, one of my best. The first year I lost money in Atlanta, and they made me a deal to come in the second year. I think I was one of 5 exhibitors, but I ended up carrying. I was carrying the ERG product. I was repping Bobby Morgenstein stuff. And I just, because I was one of the funny part was, the first year they had something like 20 or 30 exhibitors, and maybe 800 people or something like that showed up. The second year, most of the exhibitors abandoned them, but they actually had more people than the first year. So it's like the
Wow,
first year I did something like $1,500 in sales, and the second year it was like I did almost $5,000 in sales.
that's insane. Oh,
But that
and
was
Bobby is actually being inducted into the Hall of Fame
he's
this year.
he was inducted into the MEX Hall of Fame, and this year was the first year that we actually had a formal meeting of all the past winners to decide.
Okay,
Congratulations,
right there, there it
year
is.
one, right? Yeah, I think you're year one.
I was year one, yeah.
And so we had but not everybody was there, obviously. But anybody, basically, the going forward, starting this year and going forward, anybody that is a past winner is invited to be part of the selection process. So the voting, basically, what happens is the voting happens for 2 3 weeks. I'm gonna try to get more on the ball. I leave too many things till the last minute. I left this till the last minute again, but this coming year I'm going to try to make it a lot earlier in the year and a lot better organized and everything. I always say that. But we had the voting, so I basically, everybody, and they're pledged to secrecy, so please don't pester any of the Dave knows, but
You do.
but do not pester anybody for the actual results of the voting. because it is to be kept secret. I don't want any hurt feelings. We're open amongst the committee, which is now going to be 36 people or whatever. But we had two Zoom meetings. We're going to do the same next year. At the first one, I basically say, this is the results of the vote, and I put a guideline that at least of the top 10 vote getters, at least 5 of them should be winners. We don't want, but anybody that's a member, like as Dave is, and plus our show staff, they're all part of the committee, and they're welcome to add motions. And the MEX one took quite a while, actually. It was the PBX one was a lot more straightforward. I think didn't take. I think the PBX one took about 45 to 50 minutes to decide, and the MEX one was like a good hour and a half. So
wow, that's incredible. That's good. That's a good process.
We got all our winners. We finalized it all, and so those 10 people are welcome to be part of the committee now next year. So, and Dave isn't going to be happy about this, but for the first time ever, we actually put the proper names on on everybody, because we have an internal supplier that's actually at the show that's making up all the plaques. So
That's
starting
awesome.
this year, everybody that was one improvement. We try to make small improvements, or some small, some bigger, small improvements to the show every year. But that was one of them. People, I actually know a couple of people that went and got their own names engraved on the on their plaques. But it was difficult before, because we had an outside supplier before that, and I basically ran out of. We would have to do it 2 months earlier to get all the names properly, but because we have an inside supplier, it's everything I'm told is made and is on its way to Vegas. And we actually changed. We used to do it in the showroom during the parties. We're actually going to be doing the formal awards presentation actually in the ballroom this year on the Monday at 3 p.m. So we should have a nice full room for that. A lot of people didn't like to have to kind of separate out a few hours at night because they had their own plans. They wanted to go there and do this or whatever. So that was another small improvement that we made. Hopefully it's an improvement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
mine,
3 o'clock.
Mine is in my office on a shelf, and I look at it, and it makes me really happy that I'm part of this industry and played a part in it in some small way.
Well, if I remember right, back in the day, you had a huge number of votes there, so it's like everybody.
Well,
you are Mr. Photo. You are Mr. Photo Booth. So.
And believe it or not, Rob, and I don't know if you remember this, but I still have the certificate that you gave me next to the shelf that from the first
for contributions
contributions, correct. So I mean, I take that very, very immensely as an honor to this, because it's been a long time, and I can't believe that we're all still doing this, because back then, and it was like, oh, photo booths are just a fad. They're not gonna be around much, for very long. And here we are, 11 plus years later, still doing this stuff.
Well, Dave,
I remember that. I know I was talking to some of the suppliers and all that, and it's like even some of the camera shows out there didn't want to get involved because photo booths are a fad, and no, they're not.
No, but Dave, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you picking up the phone that one day when I had questions about how to get into this industry. Like 9 years ago, I think is when I made that call to you, and it's just like, Dave, what do I do? You're like, I'll take your call. Yeah, I'll walk through this and that. So contributions, dude, you had so much of an impact on so many people. Like, it's just your willingness to just share and help everybody out. I mean, it just goes a mile.
Well, plus now you're going to be an exhibitor as well. Amazing. I checked out your product. So it's
Yeah,
just
thanks.
it's amazing what I've seen that I mean our community is very innovative and very inspiring, and the one thing I've really noticed is how much photo booths are definitely not a fad, but there has been so much innovation and they have changed so much in 10 years. I mean 10 like the leaders, some of the leaders right now weren't even in the business 10 years
Mm-hmm.
ago, and now they've people have met at the show that have formed partnerships for different companies and things like that, and it's been great to be a part of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, the show itself is an incubator for like other
and then
business.
every
It's
and
it's
everybody keeps
incredible.
on asking me, what's the next great thing, and it's like, I wish I knew. That's the one thing I can't.
That's something that I have a conversation with a lot of people, and I was talking to James Trillis on the phone the other day, and Dave, we have this conversation all the time.
Mhm.
It's like you've got AI comes out, and like Glam comes out, and there's like other things coming out, like photo booth marketing's got Spotlight and Box You, and when it comes down to it, it's the classic pictures that the people just no matter what, like it comes down to like, yeah, this is a cool AI thing. That's neat. Can we go back to regular pictures? I get that a lot, and I don't think that the next best thing. I don't know if there is going to be a next best thing better than just straight up pictures. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Well, that's the one reason I think like it's only been 4 years since we bought Mobile Beat, and basically, technically I tried not to combine. If it Mobile Beat would still be a separate show if it wasn't for the pandemic,
Hmm.
because our original plan was actually to just keep on running it like it had been running before. But the pandemic hit, and so we had to, like I said, the one thing I don't say is, like, we had 4,100 people in 2020. We were down to 3,700 people in 2022. But what I didn't say was that that was actually with another show added. So we had
Hmm.
I had made a deal with Ryan from Mobile Beat that the we would accept we would honor the 2020 tickets that people couldn't use because of the
Yeah.
pandemic literally hit the week of Mobile Beat back in 2020. Like we were like 3-4 weeks before the pandemic, and we scraped through and had a great show and everything. And I was actually staying in Vegas for that month, and I was actually there the week that literally everything shut down. And that was supposed to be the week of Mobile Beat, but it just, on the Wednesday before the show, it's like we're still, that half the people told me they're not coming, but we're still going to try to, get the show through, and we're gonna we're gonna run it regardless. And then it was like Friday, no, unfortunately, we have to cancel the show.
Hmm.
And if he hadn't, there was just if he hadn't canceled the show, the governor on halfway through the Mobile Beach show, the governor of Nevada literally shut everything down. It was
Oof.
like they would have closed, if he hadn't canceled it. They would have closed the doors on him. Just that's it. Just well, you guys were there in
Yeah.
2020. Everything
Yeah.
went
Yep. I
downhill
remember
so
that.
quick.
Never
Yep.
forget it.
And the Wednesday before, I was looking forward to the Mobile Beach show the next week, and on the Monday, actually, I did go. I actually went to the Tropicana and made pictures of where the show would have been if it would have happened. But we
Huh.
had transferred about 460 people, of which I think like 300 actually showed up in 2022 or something like that. And we've had a few show up since then. But so it's like 2020. It was everybody's first time back, so it's good in that sense. But 2022 was a challenge. But then 2023 just like I said, we had 1,000 more people in 2023 than we had in 2022. So
Yeah, it's definitely grown, and you see that every year, especially some of the exhibitors that kind of held off, yeah, like even some of the big ones that kind of held off, are now you're starting to see them at the trade shows again, with their new product and whatnot. So that's definitely a good thing.
Unless you were selling air purifiers or something like that, the pandemic was tough for everybody.
True.
So
I was
for
actually
this, I was gonna say for the 2020, it's just like, yeah, everybody was panicking, and you're right. Air purifiers. That's pretty much the only thing that was making money.
And hand sanitizer.
And masks. Lots
and
of
masks, right?
I still have in my garage at home, I've probably got about 20 bottles of hand sanitizer. I keep some in the car. I still use it every once in a while. I gotta it'll probably be 10 years before I use it all up or whatever, but they had towards the end they had some great, it's like 10 cents a bottle or whatever. They couldn't back at late 2022 they couldn't get rid of it all, but luckily, I mean, unfortunately, like I said, COVID's still out there. It's but it's
So
not.
This is last year's program that I still have, and I literally laid it on my desk as soon as I got back to the expo. It has not left this desk.
Oh wow!
I assume you're making another one for this year, right? Every year you're going to be making a nice program.
Actually, we're right in the right in the middle of finalizing it. So
okay,
you're gonna, as an exhibitor, you should receive probably Friday or Saturday. So in a couple of days, you should receive the final product. I'm basically sending it to all the. So Pete Holding, and in Amsterdam. I'm one of 3 partners for PBX. It's myself, Pete Holding, and Steve Honeyball. And Pete actually makes it. Last year and this year he makes up the show guide, and he does a lot better job than I did it for the first 8 years myself.
Yeah,
and mine was it was okay. It worked, but you can definitely tell the difference between my amateurish efforts, and he basically has the best DJ magazine in all of the UK.
What's the name of that magazine?
Sorry?
What's the name of that magazine?
Mobile. And they're coming out with a US version finally. Okay. We had some hiccups getting it restarted. It's gonna be online, but
you mean this one?
There'll be we put out a sample copy last year. But they're actually going to be going monthly. It will be online. There'll be lots of information about it at the show. So it's going to be it'll basically be the American version of their magazine. But if you've ever, I thought Mobile Beat for a year. I mean, Mobile Beat is an incredible magazine. I mean, what Bob Lindquist created there, and then Ryan Berger kept it going for a lot of years. But when I saw their product in the UK, it literally blew me away. It's like, this is the highest quality DJ magazine I've ever seen in my life, and they're still strong. Even they're still strong even in an era where magazines are dying left, right, and center, and they still have a very strong magazine. We tried to get it started for a couple of years, but it's finally going to happen this coming February. So,
well, I don't know if it's because I grew up with magazines or that I'm starting to feel nostalgic again, but I actually enjoy magazines again, to be honest with you. It's nice to pick up and just separate myself from my phone, my computer. And I know you're going to have an online version, but literally to just kind of thumb through at my leisure and read the thing and put it, it's at the dining room table, whatever. It's nice. I'm getting back into magazines again.
That was part of the problem, and we were planning on doing it since 2021, but to actually get the logistics together for getting everything printed and then shipped out and everything, that was overbearing. But we decided to, once we said it's just going to be an online version for now, and down the road we may bring out print again. Right. It's not never say never, but it's like, just so that we can get it finally going on a regular basis. We're going to have a digital, and for the most part, it will be the it will be the UK version with updates specifically for the US. So
okay, all right. Well, when it comes print, I'm ready for it. I'm the one person out there who's ready for it.
So yeah, Pete. Well, like I said, Pete Holding and Steve Honeyball, they'll both be at the show, both promoting PBX Amsterdam and the new the new DJ magazine as well.
So tell us about so anything that we can expect different wise. I mean, the website, which I did post up so people watching can actually see and go to the website. Some people are going to be new. There's always new people, but it's the photo booth. It's photoboothexpo.com. There's lots of exhibitors. There's DJ exhibitors, there's photo booth exhibitors, and there's some that are just not even in either industry. Can you tell us about just what could we expect those who've never been before?
99% of the exhibitors are either DJ or photo booth. The majority, and it's not by my choice. Okay, and the DJ side has been getting stronger over the years.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's literally it's 2/3 photo booth and 1/3 or 3/4 photo booth and 1/4 DJ. But that's just that's how it fills up. I mean, I'd love to have, and had plenty of, especially in 2022, I had a lot of people saying, why is it so much photo booths and so little DJ and all of that? But it's like, that's not my choice. I mean, we can, if we had more DJ exhibitors come in, we could put them on the photo booth side. But the fact of the matter is, we have more photo booth exhibitors that end up going on the DJ side. Now, having said that, we have some very, very strong names, like the big companies that are out there are supporting the show. Some of them have supported from the beginning. Some have come on later and all of that. But I think people will be impressed with how much stronger the DJ side has gotten over the last few years. It's like 2022 is a challenge. And we've always had some great exhibitors, but just the volume of them is a lot more. And I think you'll find everybody on the MEX side is now we had a few photo booth exhibitors, and we had a couple of exhibitors leave on the PBX side. So the people on the PBX side are photo booth exhibitors, and people on the MEX side are basically DJ exhibitors.
Schedule wise, so when people come to the hotel, when can they pick up their badges and get all the materials that they're going to need to prep themselves for the rest of the week?
If you're there, basically the registration desk, if somebody is there early, basically opens at 5 p.m. on Sunday. So it's not a part of the show or anything like that. But if if you're there, you can pick up your badge early. And then we open it up again at 9 a.m. on Monday morning. We have a huge rush of people that come in around 10 o'clock because the actual seminars start at 12 noon. So we're very busy from 9 till 12. And then we put like the really heavy hitters, we try to, plus the awards ceremony, we put day one. And the day one is a shared day between photo booth and DJ exhibitors. So it's just general business concepts and things that would basically apply to anybody in the entertainment business, whether that's DJ or photo booth or both. Then Tuesday and Wednesday we separated out. So Tuesday we have the photo booth seminars in the ballroom upstairs, and we have the DJ seminars in the showroom. And people really, that was a big improvement from 2022 to 2023 when we moved the DJ seminars over to the showroom. People just they like the venue a lot better, so we've kept them in there since then.
I like how you have seminars and some of the really good stuff on the first day on Monday, especially for someone like myself who is exhibiting for the first time this year, where I'm not stuck having to set up and then be on the floor and miss all this stuff. I can actually, as a vendor, go and attend some of these seminars because I'm a photo booth operator myself. So this is great. I mean, I love that.
All the vendor badges basically include everything that an MEX key pass would have. The difference between the MEX key pass and the PBX key pass is the PBX key pass is $100 less. And the only thing it doesn't include is the DJ seminars. So if you're not a DJ, you would not want to get an MEX key pass. There's basically two reasons why the MEX key pass is $100 more. And one reason is because you're actually getting a whole extra day of seminars. So the photo booth people have 2 solid days of seminars, Monday and Tuesday, and then the show floor opens. For the DJs, there's a third solid day on Wednesday as well over in the showroom. So you're basically getting 3 days of seminars rather than 2. There are we also have a lot of master classes on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. But we actually don't guard the doors to that unless it's very, very busy. Because in the past we found that once the show floor opens, less on the DJ side, but on the photo booth side, all the activity goes to the show floor. And I felt bad for a couple of speakers first year. It's like we were putting speakers through the show, and the speaker that was speaking the hour before the show was speaking to like 650 people. And we open up the show floor, and the next speaker is speaking to like 30 people.
Yeah.
So that's people going, oh, why do you have your Monday and Tuesday seminars in the big, huge? I mean, the ballroom can actually, with standing room, can hold like 2,000 people. Usually it maxes out at about 1,000. We put 1,008 seats in there, and usually maxes out like with the key, like the best speakers that get the most crowds. Who probably the number one is Alan Berg.
Standing room only for Alan at some point.
And and like I said, for that, but we can hold 2,000 people in there. But we actually, I think all the way up to 19, 20, and 22, we actually held on to that room for the Wednesday and had seminars in there. And it's like it looked like a cavern. It's like, there's room for 2,000 people and 30 people sitting there. So we actually we try to right size the rooms. So when we and we've made a couple of mistakes over the years. I remember we ended up second year putting a really, really this is the last minute speaker. We had the one big room that held like 800 people, and the small room held 100. And we had one speaker that was extremely popular. Unfortunately, I had him placed in the small room because it was a last minute addition. And so we've had, and we can only fit like 100 people in that room. So we have, that was the biggest faux pas. And then we ended up giving everybody access to that seminar on video, which we haven't done since. But we also, then a couple of years for the smaller rooms, we tried to get people to sign up. That didn't work because we would have 100 people sign up. That's why we don't have bowling anymore either. We had like, I announced that, if you want to go to the seminar, make sure you sign up. These are the 100 people that will be able to go to it. And, 2 hours later, the thing is all full. The only problem is the day of the show, the speaker isn't happy because like 25 of those 100 people that signed up, 25 people showed up.
Yeah.
So we stopped doing that. And we try to do our best to make sure that, we've actually made the smaller room bigger over the years. The room this year holds about 200 people. The bad news or good news, depending on the master classroom, isn't going to be the easiest thing to find because it's part of the public bowling alley. There's a room off the bowling alley that holds 200 people, and so we actually increased the size. But it's in such a weird location. The hotel actually promised to put up signs or whatever this way to the master classrooms and all that type of stuff. So
is that the room that's next to like the billiards room up there?
It's actually not the Brunswick room is even bigger. The Brunswick room holds like 600 or 700 people.
Okay.
And that's actually where John Young had his in 2020.
Right.
We tried, and we had the DJ component as part of that.
Yep.
So it's not the Brunswick room. It's actually it's a room literally next to the Brunswick room.
Okay.
Which I didn't even know existed till about 2 weeks ago. And
so it's like a speakeasy. You have to know the password and the directions to get to it, and you knock on the door like 5 times and do a swirl to get in.
Actually, talking like there is a bar in front. It's actually good because if people want to network, there is literally a bar in front of that room.
Huh.
So people,
Okay.
so you can basically have the people that are actually in the room, and then you have some people hanging out, hanging outside. Because we get that a lot. Like, I mean, people that are networking in the hallways is a huge part of the show. So,
Oh yeah.
so that actually, I actually think it's once people get over the fact that it's in really nice bowling alley, I gotta say, but once people get over the fact that it's, at the entrance to the bowling alley, it's probably the best master classroom we've had yet. Because we had them in the what are now the demo rooms for years, and then all 4 demo rooms got all booked up, and so we ended up for the last couple of years having it up in the conference center, and that worked as well. But when it was where our now the demo rooms, it held 100 people, and then last couple of years it held 150 people, and now we'll actually be able to get it to 200 people in there. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we won't run into any capacity issues. It is possible. I do put the disclaimer on the tickets, but we do our best to make sure we can accommodate, as many people as possible. So
there is just a lot going on that week. There's just stuff everywhere. So I mean, if anybody's watching this or listens to this later, you got to go to the show. I mean, and I'd go to DJX, and I know that there's other smaller ones like the one in Boston. What's that one called again? Harvest of Sound. And
Harvest of
there's
Sound. They've got
Pittsburgh.
Marquee.
Yeah, there's one in Pittsburgh. There's Marquee in Chicago. This, in my opinion, and I mean, is the best one, like of everything. And it's like I know the DJX is really probably has more DJ. It does have more DJ exhibitors, right? And it's more DJ focused, but the industries are melding together, right? Photo booth operators aren't necessarily getting into the DJ industry as much as the DJs are adding on photo booths, but they're melding together. And if you want one place that's going to have, I think, the best of both worlds, hands down, this is the one. This is the one you can't miss.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that it was actually the DJs that really pushed the industry forward back in 2008 and 2009. I mean, there's always been more photographers than DJs in the photo booth industry. But back in the beginning, that was a huge. If everybody remembers the 2008 recession and all of that, 2008, 2009, they're out there that don't even exhibit anymore.
Yep.
Oh, we're losing.
No, I hear you.
I don't know if that's me or whatever.
It is. Yeah, you're good.
There's some kind of a blip there, but
UFOs.
no, I remember when they were at Mobile Beat, and that was like one of the big hits in 2007 and 2008, and a lot of DJs picked up on it. Was like the Open Air Photo Booths, which was the company back then, and
the big boxes, yeah.
And it took off largely because DJs were looking for another source of revenue, and then the photographers picked up on it very quickly. Of course, they claim that they have the better pictures and all of that. And I think there's the one good thing about having both shows is that I think DJs have a lot to learn from photographers in terms of picture quality and all that type of stuff. I think that photographers have a lot to learn from the DJs in terms of entertainment, because ultimately,
bingo,
the photo booth is an entertainment thing. And the people that are really successful aren't the ones that are just making the best pictures. They're also the ones that can entertain people and, have the personality out there. And
100%.
Everybody can learn something from anybody,
Yeah.
So
I mean, it is the photo booth industry. Yes, it is about great pictures and composition and a quality product. But to the people that are hiring, at least from my standpoint, and Dave, I think you can agree with me, they're looking for an experience, right? It's not just pictures; it's an experience.
It's like if you just want a picture, you can take a selfie,
Exactly.
But it's like I said, it's just a nice fusion. And the reason I was interested in Mobile Beat was because for the first few years of the show, we used to ask on our, unfortunately, right, we're planning on doing it again real soon, but we have a brand new ticketing platform that we can't do that with at the moment. But we used to ask in the past, in addition to being a photo booth person, are you also a DJ or a photographer and all of that? And I found that generally of the photo booth people, about 25% are also DJs, and about 35% are also photographers. And of the remaining, so that makes up about 60%. About 25 or 30% are nothing else but.
Right.
And we had a good contingent of like rental stores, because there are people that rent the photo booths out and all that.
Yeah.
And we actually have some venues that come in as well, because some venues literally keep their own photo booths and all of that. So
Yeah. So it
but
just brought up
that
something that we just touched on the entertainment. I just spitball things, and not really spitball, just like hits in my head. Dave and Rob, like as far as the seminars go, like a lot of the DJ seminars they have um, performance, right, and entertaining aspects to them. Do any of the photo booth seminars talk about that? Like how to not just be, a button, a seat that pushes a button and enhances for pictures.
There have been some in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I truthfully haven't looked at the list for this year.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that there's a complete difference between the DJ seminars and the photo booth seminars, and at least from what I've sat in, and I haven't sat on in every single one of them, but I rarely ever see a photo booth seminar talk about the experience outside of just this is how you get leads, or this is how you respond to your emails, and this is how you get stuff at bridal shows, and or how to fix your equipment and stuff like that. Like that's good stuff to know, but I have yet to see personally like how to entertain as a photo booth operator.
That's actually a really good point. That's something I'm going to keep in the back of my mind, that because we generally have about 3 times as many speakers as we have room for.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, I have to disappoint some people and all of that. If somebody, but that's something that I think we've had it in 10 years. We've had that topic touched on a couple of times, but definitely that's an amazing. If someone approaches me from that angle, maybe you want to do that. I don't know.
Actually, Art,
Dave,
that would be a good thing for you and I to do.
We would love to do that. That would be awesome.
Actually, you know what?
Whatever.
Is this a done deal? I think that would be great to have. So on the next year on the Monday, we'll have the two of you on stage. Okay. I've actually started the 2026 schedule already, because I ended up talking to a couple of people that were disappointed that they couldn't speak this year and all of that. And this is the first time. Usually I don't start the schedule till like April or May, but I said, look, I'm starting the 2026 schedule right now. I will put you on the 2026 schedule. So the fact of the matter is, for the first time ever, the 2026 schedule has already been started before the 2025 show.
Dave, you in?
I'm in.
I'm in.
I will put both of you down for the Monday, because that is a great topic.
Yeah, it's just you brought it up that like there's photographers that they're all about the composition and the great pictures, and I do see photographers at events when I'm out there, and even though I'm there with a photo booth, it's like the guests have a total different reaction to me with the photo booth than the photographer with a very expensive camera with a $3,000 lens. They're actually more interested in me with this little dinky thing because I'm entertaining.
No, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of photographers that are very, very entertaining out there, and they're probably the most successful ones. But
okay, cool.
you get the combination of personality and picture quality, and that is one of the secrets to success in this business.
Yeah, but Art also has a chicken suit that he wears sometimes too.
No.
But let me actually, while I'm here, let me make a note. The first thing I'm going to do when we're finished with this, with the chat here, is literally go to my 2026 speaker spreadsheet and put you guys in. So.
All right. And I wanted to debut something on the show. So Danny Max is watching. Danny, hi. I am going to leak a product that he's coming out with, and I just got it in the mail. It's the new DJ console that he's putting together. It's the Super S. And here it is. It's he makes them out of Lego. Actually, I made it, but it does have the articulating arms and everything. So if you're lucky, you may see this. It's got the L1, the L's for Lego controller there, right there. So fully functional. So I just thought I would show that to you guys. We're going to bring this to the show.
I always look forward to seeing, I mean, Danny Max over the years has come out with some incredible products. He's probably one of the most respected manufacturers in the bit. I mean, there's not to put anybody else down or anything like that, but he's definitely up there. People love he has great products. He's, great service. Like I said, I got to know him actually 2018 or 2019. I was actually invited. This was before he's got his big gigantic factories and everything. In the beginning, he started off in his own garage, and had some great products back then. But I actually took the train to New York City to go. He invited me and a lot of basically everybody in the community that was living in. He was on Long Island somewhere in
you went
like
to that
an hour from New York City.
He lived near what was it, Belmont?
Something like that.
I don't remember the exact town or whatever. I remember I took the train from Niagara Falls, New York to New York, and then I caught the local whatever Long Island Railroad or something, and then he picked me up and I can't remember what the name of the station was, but I know I haven't seen his new. I just keep on seeing in Photo Booth Network and all that. It's like they're doubling the size of their factory like every 6 months or something like that.
Pretty much.
But,
well, Dave, you went to that barbecue, didn't you? Didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
I talked to him
about a dozen people, and that was that was when Danny used to make everything in his garage.
Yeah. Now I'm not going to speak for Danny here and say this is actually happening, but Danny, you did on a cab. This was when we were at the wedding MBA. He said he may do another one at some point. So we'll see. The
one thing I remember, he was so proud of the strength of his photo booths. That year, he has a pickup truck, right? Probably more than one, but at that point, he had a pickup truck, and he literally drove the pickup truck over the photo booth, and the photo booth survived.
Oh, he did one more. He took his roamer and literally used the roamer as the midpoint to tow a car.
I remember that too. Yep.
It was insane.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
He's been the sponsor of our Monday night party, or one of DAS speakers. They're also a Monday night sponsor, but he was the sponsor of the party when nobody else was the sponsor of the party. I mean, coming out of the pandemic, like I said, I didn't have a second sponsor for that night, and he's been a sponsor ever since. And you can see his photo booths on the floor. He has a fantastic 20 by 70 booths, one of the biggest booth spaces in the show. But he also brings his photo booths down to the party, and people have a good time with that. So I appreciate it. Like back when we were coming out of the pandemic and nobody else was helping sponsor the parties, he was there right from the beginning.
Yeah, good guy. And Iris too. Both of them.
They've always given back to the community too.
They definitely give back to the community.
Yep.
So the opening night party, are you having a party every night this year, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Because that's what it was last year, right?
Yeah, that basically is it. DAS on their own are doing the Tuesday night party. Okay. And we're still learning the final details. We have to get all the details for it because the show guide is going to press, like it's going to all the exhibitors on Saturdays. So it's like, so Monday night is going to be a DJ Invasion, and that is going to be hosted by Chris Washburn and DJ Stardust.
Okay.
And we have a number. I think there's 8 DJs, including one of the best known DJs from the UK as well. So we got him on there. And then Wednesday night is being run by Chi-Town Shaney. Okay. And she's got all of her all-stars there with her. So it's a good night every night. it's a good venue.
So we've got Max Design and DOS. So I guess supporting Monday night. DOS alone on Tuesday night. Is that correct?
DOS alone on Tuesday night.
And then who do we have Wednesday sponsoring?
Moby Booth, and they're bringing on some other sponsors as well. But
Okay.
Moby Booth is in charge of the sponsorship part of Wednesday night,
Okay.
and Shaney is in charge of the DJs.
Now, for the guests out there, are there any because DJ Expo, they do like giveaways at the end of the stuff. Is there any giveaways that people can look forward to at this expo? Is there anything like that happening?
We have a plenty. I stay away from. I do not do like a $30,000 package like they do. Okay. We have plenty of exhibitors that have their own giveaways, and to be honest with you, I stay clear of it for tax reasons.
Okay, that's legit.
Because taxes due on things sold and all of that, and it's like I specifically do not run a package. Then we are looking at having some kind of draws. I'm actually looking just to keep more people in on the Thursday, because Thursday is generally the day for people to finalize their, Tuesday and Wednesday people explore everything, and then Thursday the really serious people basically make their purchases and things like that.
And floor models, like some people sell floor models on that final day too, and you have to come pick it up.
But the one thing I found, like it seemed to be a little bit quieter on the third day than previous years last year. So I'm gonna try. We were originally going to give away like 20 passes to the show on the final day. I decided against that because I didn't want. We're doing a huge promotion. That we sold over 1,000 tickets. That like the week of the show, we sold over 1,000 tickets for this year at the show, and that was without any extra promotion or anything like that. I'm going to guarantee it once they've actually arrived, but we're getting 1,000 T-shirts made up for the show that are supposed to be delivered.
Cool!
Like PBX and MEX T-shirts that are supposed to be delivered to the show at the show. So I'm going to be doing a huge promotion that anybody that buys a ticket, and the best prices at the show as well.
Oh yeah.
And anybody that buys a ticket for 2026 and actually shows a ticket on their phone or whatever to somebody at the registration desk gets a free T-shirt. So we're hoping to give away all 1,000 T-shirts. And we had, like I said, we sold over 1,000 tickets without giving out T-shirts last year. So that'll be. But what I don't want to do is have 900 of those people wait to see whether they won the tickets, before they buy their tickets and get the T-shirt and all of that. So for that reason, I think I'm going to probably give away hotel rooms instead.
Whoa!
So you'll get like three people will win 4 nights in the hotel or something like that.
That's awesome. That's really. Now, do they have to use it for PBX? Or can they? I mean, is it going to use it anytime, or you have to use it that week then for PBX?
It would have to be used Monday to Thursday at the show. There's another. I'm not going to say anything just yet, but we've got a huge. I'll give a little bit of a teaser because it's almost finalized. If there are DJs that are interested in working on cruise ships, I'm probably going to have some huge news for you in the next week. So it's
that's good. There's a lot of young DJs out there that would love to do that, and maybe some older folks too.
This is something that just came up in the last week and a half, but I think that's going to if you're interested in working on a cruise ship, make sure you come to the show. It'll I'm not obviously they're very picky on who they choose and all of that,
right?
But you'll definitely learn about the process of applying and all that type of stuff, and a lot of ins and outs of what it's actually like to work as a DJ on a cruise ship. So
that's pretty cool.
You'll probably see notification like I said, once it's like 99.99%. right now. Because it was actually my Greg Tutwiler is my sales manager, and he was doing the whole deal and all that, and I talked to them as well. So I don't want to say anything here live before it's 100%, but it's like 99.9%. So
that's pretty cool.
I believe we've made room for them in our in the master class schedule. So
nice. Well, Rob, we're getting to that time, and we're taking up a lot of your time, and I'm so appreciative that you made it in such short notice to come on the show, and it's fun. I love it.
I really enjoy doing these seminars, and we've done a few of them over the years, haven't we?
We have. We've done. Yeah, you were our first one.
So
you were our very first one. But I do want to have something fun here. So, like, we got people, and I keep bringing back to giving some people advice for when they come into town. They've never been there before. I want us to go around and, to explore Vegas, right? Like, it's outside the strip. Pick one thing that you've been to in Vegas that you wouldn't normally expect to see in Vegas to try to get to if you want to go outside of South Point. What would that one thing, one place be? I'll start. It's the Arts District in Las Vegas. I think it's a really cool area that not a lot of people know about, that has really cool restaurants and like artsy boutiques that's mostly locals that go there and not a lot of tourists. That's my recommendation.
Well, in my case, I would say downtown in general. Like I'm actually there's one hotel I stay at a lot, and people go, why? But it's called the Four Queens. It's right next to the Golden Nugget, and it's the last remaining hotel that does not have a resort fee.
Oh wow!
And they have a really, like I said, it's like the center of downtown. I stayed there for a week, couple weeks ago. I've stayed there a lot. The hotel itself was built, it's like in 1950s, 1960s, but it's run really well. The rooms are clean, and you get a great deal. I think I'm staying there the week before the show, and I think I'm paying like an average of $60 a night with no resort fee. Some of the resort, our resort fee is $18. Some of the resort fees on the strip are like I think the most expensive one I heard was like $59 just for the resort fee.
So that's the Four Queens, Magnolias. That's called the Four Queens.
And I've eaten at Magnolias a few times. Really, like I said, I've probably stayed there. First time I stayed there was 2008, and they had a special. And no, 2009, middle of the pandemic. Not the middle of the recession. Okay, and they had a special. Rooms were $10 a night.
Whoa!
No resort fee, and I stayed there for a week for like $70. And I mean now the cheapest nights are about $60. Okay, but it's well worth the money. You get free parking there. It's right. If the Fremont Street Experience with their shows every hour on the hour is just something you should see once at least.
Yeah, Joe Connell he mentioned Fremont Street. He was just commenting. So yeah, I agree. Fremont Street definitely is another one.
If you're into the nature stuff, Red Rock Canyon is worth going to.
How far is Red Rock Canyon from there?
Red Rock Canyon is the closest one. You can actually get there from South Point in about half an hour.
All right, I know what I'm doing.
You literally, you get on the I-15 from South Point, and then you go to the 215, and there's actually a casino called Red Rock Casino, which is not. I mean, it's a good casino and everything, but it's just in the general area. But Red Rock Canyon is definitely worth visiting if you're looking for something that's just like half an hour, and you're looking for something like nature-wise. The other, if you're willing to drive about 45 minutes or an hour, or it's more than an hour from South Point, say an hour and 50 minutes from South Point, Valley of Fire.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that's another one. I'm writing these down as we speak because it's just like I always
Hoover Dam. If you're into, I mean, a lot of people love. I've gone to Hoover Dam, whatever, 15, 20 times. It's a lot more interesting now because you actually have that bridge that goes in front of Hoover Dam, so you can actually walk right in the first thing you do is walk across the bridge, and you can look, you're 500 feet above Hoover Dam looking down at that. And then that's like Hoover Dam is 700 and something feet high. Hoover Dam experience is worth doing.
Yeah, the last time I was there, they were building that. That's the last time I was there.
Oh, when they were building the bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So it's good.
Dave, what about you? What do you got?
So the two things that I really enjoyed was one, the Mob Museum.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Mob Museum is worth it.
That was a lot of fun, and the Neon Boneyard.
Neon Boneyard, yeah. All these things. I've been to Vegas so many times. I haven't seen any of these.
I've actually never taken. I went to the Neon Boneyard, and it was interesting just being from the outside, just looking at some of the stuff. But I've actually never taken the full formal tour. But that's if you're into Vegas history and it's on my to-do list to do sometime. So
yeah, I enjoyed it last time, and it was really both places for me. I kind of really. It brings you into the Las Vegas history,
right?
In both of them.
Yeah, no, I've been to the Mob Museum now twice, and it's a real, like, unlike a lot of other museums, it's a real museum. Like, you feel like, it's not cheap, but you really get your money's worth. They've done an amazing job presenting everything. So, and they have some extra, like they got the bar in the basement where you can I don't know what they call it. They get your moonshine and all that type of
the
stuff.
Speakeasy.
The speakeasy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And of course, you got Fremont Street.
Yeah.
Which is that's a whole experience in and of itself. But you have to go later in the evening to really get the best of the experience.
It's pure class. It's great.
Even if you go during the day, I mean, I've noticed they used to just have the show on the hour, like going back 20, when this thing opened up 20, 25 years ago. It was on the hour, and then it was but now they run lights all, the best lights are on the hour, whatever they have their different, whether it's a Bon Jovi or Queen or, whatever, they've got that particular hour, and it's amazing. But they run the lights even during the day. Sometimes you feel like you're, so they've really improved it. It's worth. And I'm sure the technology in that must be overwhelming. Like, I mean, it's
affordable too. Fremont Street, so if everything there is pretty affordable. Like the food, the gambling, if people who want to go gambling, and the drinks.
That's one of the reasons that's why I keep on having it at South Point. The Strip has gotten ridiculously expensive. Yeah. I mean, at South Point, you still get a reasonable value on the buffet. On the Strip, a breakfast buffet is like $32.99 now. And there are dinner buffets that are like in the $70 range. I went to another trade show 3 weeks ago. I took somebody to lunch just at the food court. Okay. It was literally double hamburger and fries. I had a single hamburger and fries, and they had something to drink. I forget. I got a milkshake. All together with tax, and of course now you have to pay tip on fast food for most places as well. With tax and tip, it came to like almost $80. It's like 79 something for hamburger and fries twice.
I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for the day when you go up to McDonald's and they've got Affirm financing.
I've started going back to McDonald's for their $5 meals. I mean, that's the best. That's one of the best values out there. But that's the thing I like about South Point. South Point pricing is what the Strip used to be. 20 back when the Strip was a good deal. That's what you see at South Point now. And their steak and shake is great. I mean, it's not the cheapest, but it is. It's not your $5, but it's very good quality. I went their Mexican restaurant, and I have arguments with my wife because she goes, the best Mexican restaurant in the world can't be not in Mexico. Well, no, it's, in my opinion, my favorite Mexican restaurant in the entire world is at South Point.
Really? I haven't tried it yet.
And they have Cuba. If you're staying at the hotel, there's or they, at least last year they had this. If you're saying that you get a free, you order any meal, and it's not that expensive, like, between $10 and $20, and you get a free margarita with that. And their margarita is not chintzy, like it's like literally,
Big bowl.
like it is a big margarita, and you buy it, I think I got like a steak quesadilla or something, and the margarita was free, and their nachos and the dips that they have there are like, there's 3 different dips. I don't even know what they are, but they're all 3 of them are delicious. And it's like, that was one of my I only started I went there once back when I went back to South Point in 2017 after the first Westgate show, and I said I went back at South Point. They actually the people there took me to lunch at that place, and it was great then. But it was only like 2 years ago I went with my wife there for the first time, and it's like I was just blown away. I love all the restaurants are good. I mean, I love their buffet. I love their if you're there from midnight till 6 in the morning, you get that $6.45 steak and egg special.
Oh my God, it's insane.
That's really good. And
the New York strip steak.
I eat it. Yep. I've eaten plenty of times at the Silverado Steakhouse, and that's an amazing steakhouse there.
Yeah, they've got a lot. So I'm looking at the website, and there is.
Yeah, if you go on South Point's website, they have the menus for the different restaurants, and it's got the pricing on there, so you can see roughly what it costs. I've eaten at the Italian restaurant there many times, and it's always been a great meal too.
The Italian restaurant, actually they share they share a kitchen with the steakhouse.
So Don Vito's.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now the Mexican restaurant, that is called, it's probably going to be pretty
Baja Miguel's or something. Is
Baja Miguel's. Let's find that real quick, because every time I go, this is every time I'm hungry for Mexican food. They're not open, so they're only open Wednesday through Sunday.
Yeah, that's the bad thing, but
so I know what I'm eating Wednesday night.
But we're arriving at the show on, we're going to be there as of Friday night, so that'll probably be the first place my wife and I go for dinner on when we get there. So it's
okay. Fantastic.
And,
well, I'm ready.
Don Vito's is great. The only place I haven't eaten at is the most exclusive, and maybe we'll do it 1 year or something, but I have not eaten at the most exclusive, from what people tell me, one of the most exclusive steakhouses in all of Vegas is called Michael's, and it's at South Point, and it's you wouldn't even see it. There's like one door to get to it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've eaten at the Silverado umpteen numbers of times. I've never eaten at Michael's, but people tell me that's like one of the most exclusive steakhouses in the city. So if you're looking for a really, really good, it'll be a very expensive meal, but if you're looking for a great dining experience, there are people that recommend that. So
awesome. Well, I can't wait. You're making me hungry, and it's late where I'm at. It's early where you're at. Did you eat dinner yet?
Oh, sorry?
Did you eat dinner yet today?
Oh, I got it. No, it's
you're getting hungry now.
What is it? It's 6:18. I am going to go to dinner really soon.
Awesome.
So I'm actually in a town called Mesquite.
Okay.
Like I said, when you're in Vegas for like a month and a half, you don't want to stay at the $250 a night hotel rooms for I mean, I make money doing the show, but not that much money. So so I basically this is about an hour and 20 minutes north of Las Vegas. It's right on the Arizona-Utah border. So if you're taking the I-15, literally, like, I could probably walk to the Arizona border from where I am.
Right.
I'm at a place called the Virgin River Hotel. I'm paying $70 a night on Friday and Saturday. I think it's $70 a night on Friday, $78 on Saturday. And I'm right now through the week, I'm paying like some of them, it's different prices, but the cheapest night is $35 a night, and the most expensive is $38.
That's insane.
And
That's great.
no resort fee, plus the tax.
That's great.
And there's nothing the matter with this. I mean, it's not, it's not 5-star or anything like that, but it's there's 3 nice casinos in town. And really they have a nice buffet here as well. But it's like I said, the only they wouldn't have the space for Photo Booth Expo here. and it's an hour and a half, hour, whatever, so many minutes out of Vegas. But that's I'm here till Sunday, and then next week I'm at the Sahara, $9 a night plus a $54 a night resort fee.
Holy jeez, dude, that's insane.
Just having a big,
like,
and then I'm staying for a week at the Four Queens, and then South Point. So
awesome. Well, we'll see you in a few weeks. 18 days, folks. 18 days.
18 days and counting. All right.
So, Rob, thank you so much for coming on. Go enjoy your dinner. Looking forward to seeing you again in just a few weeks.
Always good to be there with you guys, and I might actually show up for your. I don't have a chance to see a lot of the seminars, but I might next 2026 we'll have you guys on stage. Sure.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun. Absolutely fun.
Right.
That's great.
Thanks
I'm loving
again.
it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody. Dave,
Bye.
Rob, thank you very much. And we'll see you guys. We're going to figure out something for next week, too. We're just going to keep rolling until PBX.
That's it.
All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.